back. I hope you're doing well. It is Monday, the day after daylight savings. I'm feeling so groggy and so sluggish right now. And 2 of my kids woke up with fever, so it is rough around here. If you're new, I have been trying to upload more on a consistent basis, and I'm currently exploring working in a Fauxbonichi style journal. Still keeping it a little scrappy and junky, but moving kind of away from the full-on junk journal to something that's more manageable and easy for me. And also, I have been exploring inexpensive ways to decorate the journal and to create art. So if that's your kind of thing, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Today I'm going to try to set up this week's page. And what I've been kind of doing is a Faux Hobinichi weeks kind of style. So I'm gonna show you what I did and what I'm thinking of doing. I created this basket, and I mentioned this in my last video. I did a Dollar Tree haul, again, inexpensive solutions, storage, things like that for journaling. And I found these photo albums, and I thought this would be a great way to store all the ephemera from the Patreon pages that I'm a member of. And I also think this is an affordable way to obtain art for your journals and ephemera, because once you sign up, you have access to a whole backlog of art. But I would suggest continuing to support the artists because they update them every month with new collage sheets. So this got kind of chunky. So it's like really bulky right here. The albums are only $1.25 at Dollar Tree. I could break these down for Cat Collage Club. I could start dividing it by seasons, you know, what months they came out. This is February and June's album, and I have a bunch of her journaling cards. She just does like gorgeous work. I did really want to give a shout out to her this week because she doesn't really show a lot of what she creates for Patreon on her Instagram. And I was just, my jaw dropped when I looked on her. I signed up. I was able to support her again. I had no idea that she had all this amazing art. And I do have sheets here that I haven't gotten to open up yet. But look at how beautiful these are for journaling cards that you can tip in or use as backgrounds. These daisy numbers I absolutely love. I'm gonna put those to the side because I'm gonna work with those. And more dates here. I just haven't gotten to open these or cut these out yet, but her journaling cards are just such an awesome collage-y art. I love them. And here's little tea bags that she put lines on. This, I'm dying over this caterpillar. It's gorgeous. Her cute little colorful cats. This, I fell in love with this. I got a little bit of dirt on it, but I printed 2 of these because I love them so much. I just love the whimsy, childlike designs here. This reminds me of Pee Wee Herman, the flowers in the window box. And she's got days too. I printed these a little too large for my book, but yeah. So I'm gonna have that to help me. Just trying to see if there's anything else I want to show you. She's got bigger journaling cards. She's got big and small ones. And this daisy one, I just love it. Loving the daisies. So you can see how I've worked with this like album technique. And I also have one for Pocket Journal Pam, but I haven't cut out a lot of her pieces yet. I have like a section for words and a section for what I call journaling cards, and then die cuts and labels and smalls. So that's what I have so far on her. And these, I have dates, and I'm also gonna make one for weekday words, you know, Saturday, Monday, Saturday. So I have divided them in 1, 2, 3, you know, and so on and so on. So you'll see how I utilize those in coming up. I'm gonna try to use watercolors as background in my book, so I got that. This pan set is like a cheap one. I don't know where it came from. It was gifted to me, but I have seen these types of things at Walmart. So it's pretty decent. Not too professional. I also have a basket of pens and highlighters. I like using the highlighters to create the weekly outline. So you're gonna see me use that. Those are all from Dollar Tree, and I go through those in my last video. And then I have this, this is like a picnic container that I gave my sister like years ago. It was purchased from Target just years ago. And it's like an Asian kind of bento box thing, like a stacked lunchbox. And so I have been putting my the things that I use most often. In this top section, I have just some washi tapes that I grab for regularly. Basically the best ones I have right now. I have some chalky, what are these called? Chalky crayon, Neocolor wax pastels. They don't, they're not water soluble. Is that what the word is? Where you can wet them to activate them? It's not like that. I wish they were. And then in this section, I got this bead container from Dollar Tree a while ago, and I put like the colors that I like in here, just so if I take this into my house in the kitchen, I'll have paint on hand. None of them have dried out except for my glitter paint. It's like rubber. It's kind of cool. I like the texture, but you can see I've used a lot of the pink, and so it stayed like wet in this container. And this is a bead container from Dollar Tree. And I put my paint markers, my favorite colors in here, and apparently I have an X-Acto knife in here. I was using this watercolor brush thing to dip in here. But I'm gonna be changing to a different brush, a little tiny one I got from Dollar Tree, and then I'll just rinse it out after I use it. And then the bottom one, I don't have that much. I just have more of my crayons, a little pair of scissors, and a pen, and then I have the Dollar Tree tissue paper that I decorated. I showed you guys this in a previous video. And this is what I use. I love to use these as a starting point for my backgrounds. So I have those folded in here nicely. So that's my little organizer. Okay, I'm gonna get started by showing you a little bit of the journal. This is made from a composition book, one that my son was using, but you know, he stopped using it because the school year ended. I decorated the front really nice. I'm happy with that, and I Mod Podged it. I'm also happy about that. I've seen people like tape their covers, and when I tape things, I get cat hair and all kinds of things stuck in the tape. Usually I do with Mod Podge too, but this came out pretty good. Then I painted the spine with just a couple coats of just cheap acrylic paint, and you can see it starting to crack as the journal's expanding. That's all right. And one thing I don't like is all this kind of debris here, you know, from having your journal on the table where you've had art, you know, stuff. And so that's rubbed on there. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I might paint it again, like once I'm done with it. I don't know. This is kind of peeling off, but this was like a plastic tablecloth, and I just Mod Podge. It's coming right off. So I'm probably gonna take that off and cover that with some kind of other scrapbook paper. I'm gonna take that off right now. That left some cool marks though. Look at that. Might keep it like that. Yeah, it's hard to glue plastic, so that's a challenge. Okay, so I had this composition book, and then I have like a paper chopper that can chop through like a phone book. But you can also, if you have like a thick acrylic ruler, I think that would be safer to put it down and then use like a box cutter with a fresh blade and just keep slicing, slicing, slicing over and over again until you've chopped all the way through. And I chopped the top too, and then I thought, oh, you know what, then the sewing will come undone. I don't know if I'm gonna do that in the future or not. I don't know if I'm gonna buy like a different journal, but I really love these composition books, so I might just end up doing the same thing. So I cut it down, and it's kind of like a traveler's notebook size, and I really love this size. So I put in a little tuck spot. I haven't used this for anything yet. So I don't know if I'm gonna do this next time or not. But yeah, this journal belongs to Jen. I have a cover page, and I don't want to show you all the journal because I want to finish it and then do a flip through, but I'm going to show you like how I outlined the weeks. So this is like the Hobinichi weeks version, and I really love how this looks, and I love to have this page as like an art creative section. And so I created my little collage, you know, art pieces here. So I love that. But what I found is there's not very much space to write in here. And I want this to be so easy, you know, and brief, just to remember what I did daily. So yeah, so that's why I made it on one page. But then I found, oh, you know, I'm running out of space. I don't really have enough space to write. So the following week, I spread it across 2 pages, and I'll show you that. But the idea was if there was something more that I wanted to expound upon, then I would flip forward a couple pages ahead and write out a journal entry, like a written one. So I did that. Then also after the week is done, I do print out some pictures and do even more journaling that way. So this is to keep track of what happened, and then during the weekends I've been posting the pictures and expanding upon, you know, what happened. So this is last week, and you can see I spread it out across 2 pages. So I used, you know, all the Patreon numbers from the artist I've been following, and I put, you know, week of the date through the other date. And then I use the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday labels to say what day it is. I like my walking tracker to track how far I walked with the water thing. I don't think I'm gonna do that next time because I just can't keep coming back to my journal, Xing it out. And I use different containers for water all the time. So I just don't know what the proper measurements are. So, yeah, so I messed up and I didn't make enough boxes, so I had to mush Saturday and Sunday in here. Yeah, so that's another thing I don't like. This was nice to write on, but then I felt the pressure to create a bigger art spread on the following page, and this was stressing me out. This is like way too much space for me to work with. So I think I'm going to go back to the original one that looks like the Hobinichi weeks, and then use it as a bullet journal following that. So if it needs to be continued, then I'll go the next page and continue the writing. So I'm gonna try that today. So I'm going to go to the next available page, and I might set you to music while I work on this until I have something to say. I did glue this last page. I did glue it. I glue a lot of the pages together if I don't think they're thick enough. So I'm starting with 2 layers right here, plus the collage on the other side. I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna start by doing some watercolor backgrounds, and then I'm gonna dry it up, and then maybe paste some tissue paper on it, use some markers, just make a really cool background. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, see, it's kind of coming undone down here. So that's not good. That means that stitching isn't holding. But I'm definitely gonna come up with another solution next time. Probably gonna try to invest in a faux, like Midori kind of journal. For now, I'm gonna grab some washi tape and tape that. Okay, so this paint is a little chalky. Okay, so we're gonna do the 14th through the 20th. Okay, all right. So somehow I need to write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on this side. I think I might do the month here and the date, and then leave this square for my kind of creative space. Okay. So I'm gonna count the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So then I need to divide 7 into 32. And that's gonna tell me how many squares wide I'm gonna make each column. But I did forget, I forgot to add tissue paper, because that's another layer that I enjoy using. And I have a video of how I made these tissue papers and how extremely affordable it was. And I used Dollar Tree's inexpensive tempera paint, and I just mixed in some cheap white acrylic paint to make it more opaque. So, and I came out with these. I don't think they look that bad. Okay, I'm just gonna rip random pieces. And yeah, I try to rip, if I'm gonna put these shapes in the middle of my journal, I try to rip all around it, because I don't really think that having like a straight edge looks very appealing. So that's how I do that. But if I'm gonna put it in the corner, I leave those straight, those edges. So be careful not to rip the tissue paper. And I like it because it offers such a translucent layered effect. And it's just easy to add like a background and not having the anxiety of a blank page. And you can see the color behind it. So I'm going to try to distribute the colors evenly. So I left this one straight. So this one's over here, so I think I'm gonna move this one way down here so it's somewhat balanced. Okay. And the edges might come up, and you just kind of gotta zip, glue it down. Okay, so I'm done with the yellow. Wow, this one's rad, I love it. I think I'm gonna move it. Let's see, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Okay, I might put it here. Okay, so I'm only gonna use a little bit of it, not the whole thing. Went too low. Okay. Oh, see, it naturally ripped, so. Cool. Okay, I think I'm going to layer the yellow with something like this. So I think I'll put it there. I'm just so happy that I discovered this type of journaling, because now I feel like I have my memories back. And yeah, because I haven't really been journaling much. I mean, I've just been like so intimidated by it because it's such a long, time-consuming process, and there's always competing priorities going on in life. But I just think this is so simple, you know? And I mean, not really much happens within a day, but it's still nice to look back, you know? Because when the big things happen, then you can put in a whole separate journal entry that's much longer and detailed, you know? Okay, oh, I need to grab this piece and put this somewhere, so let's see, I don't know. That's kind of too similar. What do you think? That's like really similar. That's too close. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Okay, okay. So I think it was here. Okay, yeah, it's looking really artsy already. I just think this is really easy. And it's very therapeutic making the papers. If you ever feel like you have a creative block and you don't have the motivation to do anything, this is such an easy thing to get tissue paper or regular copy paper and just paint, 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 mark, mark, mark. You start to get in the flow and it's like you're losing track of time and space, which is cool. That means you're really relaxed. So, okay, I'm missing this one and I'm kind of missing this one. I wonder if I have another one of those. I could take this bright color because I think I'm out of that one. That was one of my favorites. No. Yeah, I'll do this one. Yeah, just get a random piece and I'm gonna put it, I don't know where I'm gonna put it actually. Let's see. Okay, why not? Shouldn't take that long to think about it. The more intuitive you are, I think the better it'll come out. The less you think about it. Okay. I feel like I need something up here. But I think I'm gonna leave it. Okay. All right, so I have this. And I'm just going to rip off that excess. And we have a background. So I'm going to be working with 4 rows for each day. So I'm gonna start from the bottom because I know I'm gonna have leftover and we'll see what we can do with that. So last time I used a highlighter and I really loved it. And it was from a cheap highlighter from Dollar Tree. You can see the pinks there. Okay, and then I did a line here to write out the month of March. So I actually have these really awesome highlighters. I just did a video, my last video on these highlighters. I think I'm gonna use this purple. All right, so I'm gonna start from the bottom and count up 4. And I'm only gonna use this half of the page. Ooh, I love that. I love that. Okay, so then 4 more right here. Okay. Okay, yeah, I did 4. I do love this grid paper. It really helps with drawing these charts out. I think if I don't do the composition book next time, I'm gonna get like a Midori style faux book. Just so I can have these grids. Okay. But I might just end up not cutting the composition down from the top and just cutting the edge. So we'll see what happens with that. It would be very long. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then our last one, 7. Okay, and whew, I did end up writing off the page. It got on here a little bit. Luckily, I had a piece of tissue paper sticking out that don't feel that strongly about. And could probably do a little line here just to clean this up. I don't know how that will look. That's all right. Okay, so I still have this space, and that's wonderful. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, okay, to write a brief synopsis of the important things that happen that we want to remember. And let's see here. I think this time I'm gonna write the month up here and then the dates here, because that just, you know, makes more sense to me, you know, American style. So the numbers, okay, I have the numbers right here, the dates. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is look for the date range of 14 through 20. So I can easily go flip over here to the 14s. And a lot of people, depending on what type of Fauxbonichi you do, some people have a larger Fauxbonichi, and on one whole page they'll do a date and the day, like Wednesday, the date, and then on the next page they'll do that again, but I'm doing like a span of time. So what I'm gonna do is just dump these out, and I'm gonna try to pick small. Like this one is February and June's. Like if I wanted to expand upon the 14th, I would turn the page like you would in a bullet journal, like, oh, continued on next page, and then just put that there and then write about that day if there was something I really needed to talk about. So I have this from Pocket Journal Pam. So if it goes on this page, I can definitely use that since it's a little smaller. I do like her. I think she looks good with this page. And the other one would be the 20th. Okay, so then I simply put my 14s back, and I'm gonna have a lot more, especially once oh yeah, oh man, Lydia's daisies here, I love those too, but I already have this yellow, but I will definitely get to use these like next week, you know. She does have black numbers here. This would be one I would use for like a whole page spread. If the Patreon artists would make smaller versions of these, like tiny, then they would be able to market to the Fauxbonichi Weekly people. So it would be, you know, tiny, like tiny weekday words and tiny numbers. So that, hey, that's just an idea for you guys. Just, you know, if you feel like it. Where did they go? Like this, like if this was smaller, oh my gosh, awesome. But again, I would do that on a full page spread. I would use that. Okay, maybe I will use one of these. Okay, so she's got 20. Yeah, I haven't gotten to cut everything out to put in my little albums yet. And who knows, these albums might not even work out. Like, look how big that is. You know, it might be just, I don't know, if I put them in page protectors, I feel like, you know, if I'll want to pile stuff behind it and then I won't see it. So that's why I did it this way. And I really am trying to let go of making things look perfect and pretty, so my cutting really is bad. But can't be hard on yourself. Can't let that get in the way. I'm gonna fussy cut here. She's so cute. That's how I'm feeling today. I also, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go run and get my black ink pad. I really do want to invest in those tiny like Ranger ink pads. Because there's just so many other colors that I love, and I have these like old Ranger ink pads, like the really big ones, And ugh, I don't like the colors anymore. But in a previous video, I did show everybody how they can make their own stamp pads out of acrylic paint. But because this is black, I think it'll look really cool if I put some black polka dots throughout the page, just to add that modern contrast. Well, I'm gonna do a little bit of polka dots in the background, but not in the middle, because I'm gonna make an arrow. And I think my next step is to carve out like an arrow stamp, so it'll look much cooler. Okay, and I made this stamp out of my hot glue gun, just making like glue dots. Oh, that one's much better. Oh, that one's good too. Okay, cool. Oh, that's so cool. All right. And this was made out of tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree. Okay, some down here. Okay. All right, so we got a little more texture. Enough messing around. Time to do it. Yeah, you got to be careful because if you get glue on your fingers and then you press your art down to adhere to the paper, you're gonna impress the dirt from your finger onto the piece of art. So watch out for that. Okay. All right, got her. And now I'm gonna put Lydia's. I love her name. It reminds me, she's in New Zealand. She's February and June. Please look her up. She's the one that inspired me to just shut up and keep journaling. Just do it. But every time I say her name, I think of Lydia from Beetlejuice. Love it. She needs to be that for Halloween, I think. Okay, I do have a black glitter pen. Maybe I'll try that out. It's more like a silver though. So, just gonna make a simple triangle. And it's not working over the glue, shoot. Okay, I'm gonna have to get a marker or a different pen because it's not writing over the glue. Okay, it might be easier to just use my paint marker. I don't have a lot of like fancy pens. I do have like paint markers, which are pretty expensive. I got these last year, or no, 2020, I think. And they've lasted for a while. I just use a G20 pen usually, and I love that thing. Okay, so we have our dates there, and I'm just gonna do some marks there just to section this out. Yeah, the paint is really good because it goes over things really well, like fabric, all kinds of stuff, paint. But my G20 pen, it'll like start skipping, or the glue will like clog it or something. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna do some marks. Remember, this is like the creative side of the page. And I plan on doing a project soon with you guys on how to make a mark making catalog, or a mark making specimen book or something like that, for when you're art journaling and you don't know what kind of marks to make. I have this whole process of coming up with marks, so stay tuned for that. That's one of my ideas. Okay, so then we're going to write the word March, and I keep handwriting it, which I'm not good at lettering. I know how to do the fake lettering. I'm gonna see if I can use some stickers and rub-on transfers to just change it up this time. So you wouldn't believe it, I found these at the thrift store. Oh, these are real stickers. These aren't even rub-ons. And I know the font is kind of like, this looks like 2000 decade, but I mean, it's not too bad. It's kind of scratchy. And I like to use different letters, like the magazine cutout style. So this rub-on set came from Dollar Tree. It's only $1.25, and it comes with 2 letters for each letter. This one actually has a few here, but you have to be careful because this, when you open it like this, and see how it's like if you pull it out, it's gonna touch that sticky part, and it has ripped off some of the rub-on. So be careful. But I got it at Dollar Tree. It's pretty cool. This might be too big, but I do love these. Actually, it won't be too big. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be a vibe though. Okay, these also came from Dollar Tree, and this was a pack of 2, which I am so happy about that. I think that's it. I don't want to use gold because I want it to stand out. Okay, that's all I have for letters. So M-A-R-C-H. I'm just gonna ride with this, okay? Because if I add color to this, it's going to not stand out. It's not gonna contrast. So if I put that, it's not really gonna stand out. So I'm just gonna go with this because I think this looks really good with this contemporary black and white going on. And you can be as, you know, difficult or detailed as you want. I mean, it just depends on how much time you have. If you have the time to be creative one week, you know, go for it. Make a cute spread. But I feel like this really motivates me during the week to jot stuff down because it's so colorful and I like to see it kind of get completed. Let's try to do the middle letter first so that we don't run out of space. Okay. Sometimes these don't fully adhere, so you kind of got to gently lift it up to make sure. And it's going over layers, so that's another tricky aspect of it. Okay, good. Got it. Ooh. No, you did not do that. You lifted some of my, some of the R off. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to cut that down more. That's okay, I'll use my paint marker to fill that in. Yay! Okay. Okay, we got it, I think. Okay. Yeah, so that's that. That looks cool, right guys? I like it. This looks beautiful. Not to toot my own horn or anything. Okay, just filled that in, and I don't know what this did. I don't know. Maybe that? Okay, yeah. All right, cool. All right, yeah. Okay, we're almost done. So now it's time to glue the days. I have my days in this one because I haven't gotten to making a separate album for it. And I need to print out more days because I don't have like a large selection right now. So there's a Wednesday, Thursday. You can do this, I like that. So we need Friday. Okay, where's Saturday? Where is Saturday? What? She doesn't have Saturday on here and Sunday. No! I had an idea! All right. Go with her other ones because that matches. Okay, I like this one. Well, will it blend in too much? No! Okay, what if I do this? Boop, boop, boop. You see how customizable this is? I love it. Okay, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I'm excited about that. Okay, and last one. Monday. That's today. And I have a feeling I'm not gonna do that much. If I can pull my shat together and do some cleaning and folding of laundry, I will be very proud, and I will definitely post that here. Ugh, I'm getting dirt. Look at my hands, look at this. It'll rub off on your paper. Okay, kind of gonna make a little more marks here. Just art it up a little more. Make it pop a little more. Yeah, I like this. I like to be able to do a little collage spread that kind of tells a story. And I think maybe, like, you know, setting intentions for the week, maybe that's a good way to figure out what to do art around, like an intention, you know? So once I figure that out, I'll probably make a little art thing out of collage. I use like vintage children's book images and like scrapbook paper, and then I will add like paint marker or colored pencils to add some marks to it. And that's my kind of creative journaling. That's my favorite kind to do. I do like making collages out of painted paper. It's pretty time consuming. And I feel like looking at pictures, like children's illustrations, or some people use magazine pictures, that something will remind you of a story or something to think about, and that will guide you in the art. It kind of like tarot cards or oracle cards. It kind of leads you to create your own story and consider things that you might not have considered. Like this one, hold on, I'll show you this one. I didn't do very well because it was on 2 pages, and I don't know what it was about this spread. I just was having trouble. But I loved her image that I cut out a while ago, and it just looked like she didn't have a care in the world. And that's one of my reoccurring themes, is childhood, the innocence of childhood, and trying to get back to that, or wanting to have my children experience that. But anyway, this is just an example of it. And she's like holding up these huge flowers that are like way bigger than her up to the sky. She's kind of offering it up, like, look, you know. And then I used these cutout words. All that afternoon across the pillows held long dialogues with birds. So like across the pillows are the clouds and the birds are here. So yeah, that's you know, an example I'm talking about. And just seeing her, it just like reminded me, okay, I need more playfulness, and I need to keep making sure my kids are innocent as long as possible. And I don't think I'm gonna really decorate this on camera because it's Monday, and like I said, I'm just kind of feeling bad from daylight savings, and nothing has come to mind. I haven't looked at my you know, cutouts yet for that. But as things happen here, I might be able to find small little images in here. Like I put a whole section of her small things here. So if you were a plant person and you got to water your plants, you could stick that there. Or if you took a walk, or, you know, gave yourself a pedicure on Friday, more self-love, like that. And that's from Collage Club. Well, that's it for me, guys. I hope you're surviving daylight savings, and I hope you enjoyed this and that you get some ideas from it. Let me know what you think of this Fauxbonichi daily journaling idea. Do you think this would be easier for you to keep up with instead of having a huge junk journal and trying to remember what happened to you that week and journaling about it. I don't know, to me this just works so much better. And I am still gonna use some old ephemera. I just haven't gotten around to it. I just wanted to figure out this style first. And I really like that this is almost done, so I'm hoping that I will complete this like within 1 month's time. So I started with a composition book, and I did take some pages out, you know, probably 20 sheets here and there. And I've been gluing a lot of the pages, especially when I mount art on top of it. So I like being able to stop after a month and start a fresh month with a fresh cover so that I don't get bored and I'm happy every time I look at it.
Would you like your lunch now, Mommy?
I'm gonna come in a second. I just have to finish my video. I'm wrapping it up now.
Okay, you have water to drink in here?
Yeah, I'm gonna come in a second. Can you close the door?
Yep.
So thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you will subscribe and like this video. I can't wait till this is finished so I can do a flip through. I'm so excited. And I also have an idea to make a cover for these journals. I'm so excited. And yes, it's going to involve a product from Dollar Tree that is so freaking cheap. It's only 75 cents. So stay tuned. And remember, guys, you are loved. I love you. And you are freaking creative. Always remember that. Bye.